Okay, boys and girls, so as I showed you this morning, a rainstick is a common musical instrument that's used in Australia. And what I love is that they love to decorate their rainsticks using some of the Aboriginal style artwork. Now, Aboriginals, I showed you this morning, are people who were in Australia first. And they have a style of making artwork that has a lot of dots. And what's so cool is that back when they didn't have any paint, they would actually make their own paint. In fact, I have these vials here. We used this a couple years back when we had Camp Color. But these are actually just stones that are from Australia. Well, it's actually a stone that was ground down. And what they do is they bring it down into a powder. And do you see this yellow color? They'll paint their bodies sometimes with this, or they make beautiful artwork using this color. This color happens to be called ochre, and that's kind of a yellow color. Now I gotta get this off my hand. And then this is another style of ochre that's just darker. And if I take that and kind of smash it into my hand, you'll see it's the same way. So when you look at a lot of Aboriginal artwork, you're going to notice that it uses a lot of these colors. Do you see that yellowish and that brownish? That's because they were just using what was available to them. It wasn't like they had some art store down the street back then. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to copy that style a little bit. And what I love about this guide that I made for you is that it shows you kind of the code for a lot of the things that they draw typically in their artwork. Here you can see this is supposed to be a star. This indicates heavy rain. This is 4 men sitting with spears, a cloud, smoke. Here's a watering hole. Here's 2 women sitting with kulaman sticks. That's a game that they play. Here's an elder. And what they would do a lot of times is that they would show something like this, which could indicate a campfire or a campsite. And they would put rings on it to show how many days they had been there before they traveled. And a lot of times you hear Australian people talking about walkabout, and that's because they, in the bush, where that's kind of in the center of Australia, they will hunt for animals, and so they'll stay in an area for a while, and then they'll move on and go to another area, and they will move around the land. They don't stay in one place. They have a shelter that moves with them, and they just keep roaming. And so this is almost like a map. Their artwork becomes a map. So what's kind of fun is here you can see that these are little emu tracks, and you can see how this person decorated their emu tracks here. And you may remember back when Mr. Heatjerks had an emu. Mr. Heatjerks woke up very happy this morning because he loves Australia. He could talk about Australia all day long. But anyway, so we could have this. I could do my emu tracks. I could have my campfire over here. I could have us staying for 4 days or something like that. And sometimes they'll say, oh, okay, there was a snake that came into that area. And so because of the snake, they had to leave and go to another campsite. And so maybe we would do one over here. I'm going kind of quickly because I know you guys are going to be anxious to get started on this, but there are so many cool things, and you're going to have way more colors than what I have here. So you're going to be able to make a whole map filled with, okay, they were there, and then it started to rain. So you could go and you can do this. So it's almost like words, but using pictures instead. Now, once you are finished, we're going to use this to decorate our rainstick. Now, the rainstick is beginning with a tube. And so what you'll do is you'll take your piece of paper, and your counselors can help you with this. You're going to flip it over, and you're going to put a good amount of glue stick on one side of this thing. So you're really going to go to town, just on one side, on the whole edge. Make sure you always cap your glue stick. You know how I am about that. Now you're going to put this thing on the end that doesn't have the glue stick, and you're going to begin to roll your artwork around this tube until you hit the glue stick part. Once you've hit the glue stick, then you're just going to kind of go like this and just keep your fingers there just for a little while until you can really feel that the glue has adhered. And if you want to, when you look at it, you can say, oh, I think I need a little bit more here, I need a little bit more here, and you can add some more stuff. Now, I explained this morning that a rain stick actually in real life is a hollowed out piece of log or cactus. And then what they do is they insert a whole bunch of needles so that when whatever they put into it, pebbles or beans or rice or something like that, it kind of goes clink, 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 all the way down. Well, we are not doing that today because that would be a little dangerous. So instead, we're going to use a completely different way of slowing our rice down as it travels through our tube. And we're actually going to be using aluminum foil. This is a huge sheet. It's so big, it doesn't even fit on our video. But let me show you what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to take it and I'm going to squeeze it into a snake. So I'm coming here and I'm just taking this long piece of aluminum foil and I'm turning it into a snake. And now I'm going to go back and make my snake even tighter. This is going to eventually create a coil that we're going to put inside your rain stick to give a whole bunch of little layers for your rice to fall down so it ends up sounding like rain. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, what usually works best is to wrap it around something. So I'm going to take this marker. I'm going to use my thumb and hold the end here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to wrap this around the marker. Now notice that I'm not wrapping on top. It's not like I'm going like this. You want to wrap it so that you're always going next to what you wrapped before. Next to what you wrapped before. Now some of you may get to the end of the marker and still have aluminum foil. In that case, what you can do is just kind of squeeze it tighter and slide it down a little bit, and then you can continue doing this, okay? When you're finished, you should end up with something that looks like this. It's kind of like this big boing, 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 boing kind of fun. Now, here's your next thing. We have to get this inside of this. So let's see how this is going to work. I'm going to go like this. Now, if it won't go in, we're going to just kind of coil it tighter, but please don't be like, I'm going to shove it in there. No. Just, and again, your counselor can help you if you're struggling, but we're going to get that thing in there. And then what we're going to do is take this one side and we're going to hook it onto the end, just like that. Now this side, good grief. Do you see how my coil is all the way down there? Well, we're going to have some tools available for you to be able to grab the end. I'm going to try and grab the end here with this. And you're just going to try and grab it and pull up. There it is. Pull it out. And now we're going to loop this here. Who is a genius and tell me why I have done this and this? Why do you think we're doing that? We're doing that because we don't want the coil to all go down into one side. We want it to spread across the whole rain stick. It's going to be awesome. So now, oh my goodness, what could we do more? You are going to take this thing, because we have to cap one end of it. You're going to put this on here, like so. And using a rubber band, you're going to secure this on there. Now, this is again where counselors are going to come in handy to try and secure these on. And so now you have this one side finished. That means that on this side, we need to add our rice. So we're going to have a funnel for you. And you are going to pour this rice into the funnel. And you're going to let it pour into your rain stick. Okay? And already, if you put your hand over here, you can start to hear what this is going to sound like when we do it. But I'm going to put this now over the top. And I'm going to use my rubber band to tie it on. And right now I'm not seeing my rubber band, so that's fine. So let's pretend I did a rubber band. What I'm also going to have for you are these pieces of leather that you can wrap around the end just to make it look even more natural. And then you can tie it off. Now you will have two rubber bands, unlike me right now. And you just tie a knot like that. Now, oh, it's looking so cool. You can take this one, and on top of the rubber band that you have here, you're just going to hold it down, wrap it around until you have two decent side ends, and then tie it. And then I'm going to let you listen to your Rainstick as it falls down. I love these. I could do these all day long. It's kind of fun. All right, have a good time.